Hey gamers, want to be obsessed with your next game? We've got 20 single-player titles that will completely pull you in from the very first hour. The stories, the action, the world building, these games have it all. Let's jump straight into it. Shadow of the Tomb Raider immediately draws you into Lara Croft's gripping adventure, blending intense action with emotional depth from the very first hour. You start in a jungle, navigating treacherous terrain, solving ancient puzzles, and surviving hostile enemies, all while unraveling a story that will take you to hidden tombs and forgotten ruins. The stunning visuals bring the environments to life, from lush landscapes to eerie underground chambers, while Lara's character development and personal stakes keep you hooked. The combat is strategic, offering both stealth and explosive action, and the puzzles engage your mind without feeling overwhelming. In just the first hour, you're already making decisions that impact the story and your connection to Lara's journey. Shadow of the Tomb Raider doesn't just entice you to keep playing, it makes you care deeply about every discovery and every challenge, pulling you into its world and making it nearly impossible to stop. SIFU wastes no time hitting you with its raw intensity and unique concept, hooking you from the very first fight. Within the first hour, you're already deep into a gritty revenge story, using fluid martial arts combat that feels sharp, brutal, and deeply satisfying. Every punch, dodge, and counter demands focus, and every enemy encounter pushes your reflexes and timing to the limit. But what really makes SIFU stand out, and immediately addictive, is its innovative aging mechanic. Each time you fall, you rise again, older, wiser, but physically weaker, forcing you to adapt and improve with every attempt. The game's striking visual style and rhythmic, cinematic combat pull you into its world of underground clubs, back-alley brawls, and emotional weight. It's challenging, stylish, and incredibly rewarding. After just 1 hour, you're not just invested in vengeance, you're obsessed with mastering every move and proving you have what it takes to endure. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt immediately pulls you into its dark, captivating world from the very first hour. As Geralt of Rivia, you're thrown into an emotionally charged quest to find your adopted daughter, Ciri, while navigating a war-torn world filled with monsters, political intrigue, and complex characters. Within the first hour, you're already immersed in intense swordplay, intriguing dialogue, and morally ambiguous choices that will shape the narrative. The vast open world is alive, with breathtaking landscapes and dangerous creatures lurking around every corner. Geralt's interactions with key characters like Yennefer and Triss add depth to his personal story, making you invested in his journey right from the start. The combat is satisfying, the world-building rich, and the storytelling gripping. In just 1 hour, The Witcher 3 sets the stage for an unforgettable adventure, drawing you into its complex web of magic, monsters, and moral dilemmas. The Outer Worlds instantly hooks you with its sharp wit, vibrant art style, and the promise of total freedom in a corporate-run galaxy gone mad. Within the first hour, you're already making major choices that impact the world around you, whether to help a struggling colony or side with the very corporations exploiting it. The writing is clever, the characters are memorable, and the dialogue options let you shape your personality, from charming rogue to ruthless enforcer. Combat is fast and flexible, letting you mix guns, melee, and time-slowing abilities to suit your style. But it's not just about shooting, it's about decisions, consequences, and how you navigate a morally gray universe. Every location is bursting with personality and secrets to uncover. After just 1 hour, The Outer Worlds makes you feel like you control the narrative. And that sense of agency, paired with its quirky charm, makes it nearly impossible to put down. Hades grabs hold of you within minutes and never lets go. You play as Zagreus, the rebellious son of Hades, trying to escape the underworld, and from the very first run, it's clear this isn't just another roguelike. The combat is fast, fluid, and incredibly satisfying, with every weapon offering a different style and every room throwing new challenges your way. But what really hooks you is the storytelling. Even when you die, and you will, it feels like progress, unlocking new dialogue, deepening relationships, and revealing more of the rich lore. The voice acting is top tier, the art is stunning, and the dynamic mix of action and narrative makes it nearly impossible to stop playing. In just 1 hour, you'll be dodging death, customizing your build with godly boons, and itching to try just one more run. Hades doesn't just pull you in, it chains you to its world in the best way. Hi-Fi Rush doesn't ease you in. It throws you into a rhythm-fueled roller coaster of color, music, and non-stop fun from the very first minute. Within the first hour, you're rocking out as Chai, a wannabe rock star turned accidental hero, syncing every punch, dodge, and combo to beat of a killer soundtrack. The game's world pulses with rhythm. Doors, enemies, even platforms move to the music, making every moment feel alive and electric. The combat is insanely satisfying, blending action and timing in a way that feels fresh and addictive. Add in slick comic book visuals, hilarious writing, and over-the-top boss fights, and you've got a game that's impossible to walk away from. It's stylish, chaotic, and ridiculously fun. Once you start, you'll be completely obsessed with its energy, charm, and rhythm-based mayhem. RETURNAL grabs you in its opening moments and never lets go, throwing you into a haunting, fast-paced sci-fi loop that's as mysterious as it is intense. Within the first hour, you crash land on the alien planet Atropos as Selene, a lone space pilot stuck in a time loop where every death resets the world and her mind. The atmosphere is thick with tension, the world is hostile and ever-changing, and the action is blisteringly fast. Enemies strike with brutal precision, and the bullet hell combat keeps you constantly moving, dodging, and adapting. But what really hooks you is the story, unraveling through cryptic messages, strange visions, and fragments of Selene's past. The more you play, the more obsessed you become with uncovering the truth behind the loop. RETURNAL blends roguelike intensity with psychological horror and stunning sci-fi visuals, and after just 1 hour, it has you completely locked in, mentally and emotionally. Control wastes no time pulling you into its strange, otherworldly mystery. Within the first hour, you step into the Federal Bureau of Control, an ordinary-looking building hiding extraordinary secrets. The moment you pick up the shape-shifting service weapon and unlock telekinetic powers, you realize this isn't your typical third-person shooter. The world constantly shifts around you, filled with unsettling noises, floating bodies, and cryptic messages. You're not just exploring an office, you're unraveling a supernatural conspiracy that feels more intense with every step. The combat is fast, fluid, and incredibly satisfying, blending gunplay with psychic powers that let you launch desks at enemies or hover across rooms. The atmosphere is thick with tension, the story is mysterious and layered, and the visuals are stunningly surreal. It's the kind of game that hooks you fast and refuses to let go, making every minute feel like a descent into a deeper, stranger reality. Hollow Knight quietly pulls you in with its haunting beauty and then refuses to let go. Within the first hour, you're dropped into the mysterious, ruined kingdom of Hollownest. No hand-holding, no flashy tutorials, just you and a vast, eerie world waiting to be explored. The hand-drawn art, atmospheric sound design, and minimalist storytelling immediately create a sense of wonder and intrigue. As you dive deeper, the tight combat, precise platforming, and hidden secrets begin to reveal themselves, each discovery more rewarding than the last. Every path feels like a mystery, every encounter a challenge, and every moment builds your obsession with uncovering the truth behind this fallen land. Hollow Knight doesn't just entertain, it enchants, hooking you with its depth, style, and sense of quiet exploration. After 1 hour, you'll be fully immersed and completely hooked on the adventure ahead. GHOSTRUNNER wastes no time dropping you into a high-speed, adrenaline-pumping cyberpunk world where every second counts. From the very first hour, you're sprinting across walls, slicing enemies in a single slash, and dodging bullets in a deadly ballet of precision and speed. The controls feel razor-sharp, and the one-hit kill system keeps the tension sky-high, making every encounter a thrilling test of skill and reflexes. The game's atmosphere is pure dystopian perfection. Neon lights, pulsing synths, and a world falling apart beneath your feet. But it's not just the action that hooks you, it's the feeling of mastery. Each death teaches you something, and each success feels earned. Before you know it, you're obsessed with perfecting every movement, every strike, every run. It's fast, fierce, and incredibly addictive. Once GHOSTRUNNER sinks its blade in, you won't want to stop slicing your way through its brutal, beautiful world. Prey sinks its claws into you within the first hour by turning everything you think you know on its head. You wake up as Morgan Yu aboard the Talisai space station, and from the moment reality starts to unravel, the game traps you in a web of mystery, paranoia, and survival. Mimics can disguise themselves as everyday objects so nothing feels safe. Even a coffee mug could be your death. The eerie atmosphere, combined with a creeping sense of isolation, keeps you on edge, while the freedom to approach every challenge your own way makes exploration deeply rewarding. Whether you're hacking systems, using alien powers, or improvising with whatever you can find, the gameplay is addictive and full of surprises. The deeper you go, the more you question everything. After just 1 hour, Prey doesn't just grab your attention. It fully messes with your mind, and you'll need to see what happens next. VAMPYR pulls you into its dark, moody world from the very first hour, where every decision you make feels weighty and full of consequence. Set in a war-torn, plague-ridden London, you play as Dr. Jonathan Reed, a newly turned vampire struggling with his bloodlust and moral dilemmas. Within the first hour, you're already torn between saving lives and feeding on the very people you're trying to protect. The story hooks you with its mix of supernatural intrigue and human drama, while the RPG mechanics and combat offer plenty of depth for exploration. The atmosphere is thick with tension, from the grim streets to the hauntingly beautiful soundtrack. The moral choices are what truly set VAMPYR apart. Each encounter and decision impacts the world around you, pushing you further into the complex, dark narrative. After just 1 hour, you'll find yourself obsessively questioning who to save, who to condemn, and how far you're willing to go. Days Gone is an emotional and gripping post-apocalyptic story about survival, loss, and redemption. Set in a world overrun by freakers, feral, zombie-like creatures, the game follows Deacon St. John, a former outlaw turned drifter, searching for hope in a world that has fallen apart. Haunted by the presumed death of his wife, Sarah, Deacon embarks on a journey of survival, battling both the infected and ruthless human factions. Along the way, he forges deep connections with old friends and new allies, all while uncovering secrets about the outbreak. The game's emotional depth, combined with its dynamic open world and intense combat, makes Days Gone a standout story-driven experience. Deacon's personal journey, from a broken man to someone willing to fight for a future, creates a compelling narrative filled with heartbreak, action, and resilience. It's a must-play for those who love deep, character-driven stories. A Plague Tale: Requiem grips you from the start, immersing you in its harrowing world of survival and sibling bonds. Within the first hour, you're thrust into a tense, heart-pounding escape as Amicia and her brother Hugo flee from an overwhelming plague that has ravaged their world. The game masterfully combines stealth, puzzle-solving, and tense combat, with every moment filled with desperation and the looming threat of the supernatural forces controlling the plague. The visuals are stunning, bringing the medieval setting to life with grim beauty, and the story hooks you right away with its emotional weight. As Amicia, you're constantly balancing the need to protect Hugo and survive the dangers around you. The relationship between the siblings, coupled with the constant threat of rats and disease, creates an atmosphere that's impossible to ignore. After just 1 hour, you'll be fully invested in their struggle and desperate to see how their journey unfolds. Cyberpunk 2077 grabs you from the very first hour with its explosive mix of high-tech chaos and gritty storytelling. You're thrown into the neon-drenched streets of Night City, where every choice matters and danger lurks around every corner. Right off the bat, you're customizing your character, choosing your life path, and diving into intense missions filled with action, betrayal, and cinematic flair. The world feels alive, crowds bustle, lights flicker, and the soundtrack pulses as you explore a city that never sleeps. Then, just as you're getting comfortable, the story takes a wild turn and introduces Johnny Silverhand, played by Keanu Reeves, adding a whole new layer of intrigue. Whether you're hacking systems, blasting enemies, or just soaking in the atmosphere, the first hour leaves you completely hooked. It's bold, fast, and unforgettable. Exactly the kind of game that makes you say, just one more mission, and never stop. Star Wars Jedi Survivor grabs you right from the start, throwing you into an action-packed emotional journey that builds on everything that made Fallen Order great, and amplifies it. Within the first hour, you're already deep in the action as Cal Kestis, navigating epic set pieces, fast-paced lightsaber combat, and force-powered exploration that feels incredibly fluid and refined. The stakes are high, the Empire is stronger than ever, and Cal is more powerful, but also more haunted by the fight ahead. The environments are larger and more detailed, filled with secrets and challenges that push you to explore every corner. The combat is smoother and more diverse, offering new stances and powers that keep you constantly engaged. And emotionally, it doesn't hold back. You immediately feel the weight of Cal's mission and the danger that looms. After just 1 hour, JEDI Survivor fully locks you in with its perfect balance of action, heart, and Star Wars magic. Detroit Become Human is a gripping interactive drama that explores the complexities of artificial intelligence and human emotion. Set in a near-future Detroit, the game follows 3 androids, Connor, Kara, and Marcus, each with their own journey that intertwines with the fate of both humans and machines. Connor, a detective android, must decide between duty and empathy. Kara, a caretaker, fights for freedom and love. Marcus, a leader, chooses between peaceful protest or violent revolution. Every choice you make shapes the narrative, leading to multiple endings that reflect your decisions. With stunning visuals, a branching storyline, and deep moral dilemmas, Detroit Become Human offers one of the most engaging narrative experiences in gaming. Its thought-provoking themes about identity, freedom, and what it means to be human make it a must-play for fans of story-driven games. Your choices define the story, making each playthrough unique. God of War immediately immerses you in its world of myth, family, and brutal combat, and within the first hour, you're hooked. As Kratos and his son Atreus set out on a poignant journey to scatter his wife's ashes, the game balances intense, visceral action with a deeply emotional story that draws you in. From the first battle with a massive troll to the quiet moments between father and son, the game seamlessly introduces you to its refined combat system, where every attack feels heavy and satisfying. The world around you is rich with Norse mythology, filled with breathtaking landscapes and danger lurking around every corner. The relationship between Kratos and Atreus, evolving as they navigate their challenges, is instantly captivating. Within just 1 hour, God of War pulls you into a story of redemption and growth that will keep you obsessed until the very end. Ghost of Tsushima hooks you instantly with its stunning visuals, emotional storytelling, and intense samurai action. Within the first hour, you're thrust into the chaos of the Mongol invasion, fighting for survival as Jin Sakai, one of the last samurai of Tsushima. The opening sets the tone with cinematic battles, a tragic loss, and a desperate mission to save your homeland. The combat feels fluid and precise, letting you choose between honorable sword duels or stealthy, ghost-like tactics. The world is breathtaking, with golden forests, swaying fields, and sacred shrines that beg to be explored. But what truly grabs you is Jin's personal struggle, torn between tradition and necessity, as he evolves into something more than a warrior. The emotional weight, combined with the elegance of its open-world design, makes it impossible to stop. After just 1 hour, Ghost of Tsushima doesn't just draw you in, it demands your full attention. Red Dead Redemption 2 doesn't just start strong, it completely absorbs you from the very first hour. You're thrust into a harsh winter storm, riding through snow-covered mountains with your gang, feeling the weight of every step, every word, every decision. The level of detail is staggering, from the way Arthur Morgan adjusts his coat to how snow crunches underfoot, pulling you into a world that feels alive and real. Within the opening hour, you're not just learning mechanics, you're building relationships, making tough choices, and getting a taste of the emotional journey ahead. The writing is powerful, the voice acting is cinematic, and the atmosphere is unmatched. Whether you're on a tense rescue mission or just soaking in the environment, it's clear. This is something special. RDR2 grabs you with its depth, beauty, and storytelling, and once it does, you won't want to leave the Wild West behind. That's a wrap on our list of 20 single-player games that will have you hooked from the very first hour. Which one are you most excited to play? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Until next time, happy gaming.